All right, so Module 5, Lesson 35, we were working on multiplying whole numbers by non-unit fractions, by converting them into unit fractions, and using the associative property to show how this works. So the first part, draw and label a tape diagram to show the following are true. So we have 8/3 equals 4 times 2/3 equals 4 times 2/3. Okay, so if we look, our parentheses are in two different positions, and we'll see how that works when we get down here to the bottom. Okay, so basically what we're doing here is we're just drawing a tape diagram. So if we look here, we see 8. So that's 8 parts that we're trying to make our tape diagram. So make your tape diagram, cut it in half, that's 2. Cut that in half, that's 4. Cut those in half, that's 8. Okay, so now each piece of this is worth how many? How much? Those are thirds. Okay, so each one of these is going to be 1/3. Okay, so now there's two ways we can look at it. Let's look at this one first. So we know by our order of operations to do everything in parentheses first. So 4 times 2 equals 8/3, and then the thirds here, that's our 1/3. So how many do we have here? We have 8 1/3. Okay, and those are going to be separate. Okay, now we need to find if we have 4 2/3. So this one here is 2/3. This one here is 2/3. This one here is 2/3, and this one here is 2/3. So that shows that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 2/3, and this is 8/3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Same thing we do down here. So our whole number, we have 15/8. Okay, so that would be written up here. Sorry, I should have written this. This is 8/3. This one down here is going to be 15/8. So let's make our tape diagram. We're going to need 15 pieces. 12, 13, 14. Oops, made them too small. Okay, anyways, we've got 14 or 15 pieces right here. They're not equal in size, but we'll just label them to be equal. So eighths means that they're all the size of 1/8. Probably could have done a better job partitioning this off. And then 1/8. Okay, so they're all 1/8. So now how many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have our 15/8. Or here, this is going to be 15. And then we need to multiply, we need 5/8. So if we go, that's 5/8 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5/8 right there. And then that's 5/8 right there. And we have 1, 2, 3 5/8. We also have 15/8. Okay, so now write the expression in unit form to solve. So we're given the problem 10 times 2/5. Okay, we need to turn this into unit form. So the fraction part size we're dealing with is fifths, and so we want to be multiplying something by 1/5. A unit fraction is a fraction that has a 1 in the numerator. So what can we multiply 1 by to get, or multiply 1/5 by to get 2/5, and that's going to be 2, because that would be 2 1/5 or 2/5. Okay. If we write this out again, we can show the different ways that we can use the associative property. So this is going to equal 10 times 2 is 20 times 1/5, and then this is going to give us back to our original problem. It's going to be 10 times 2/5. So now, how many fifths do we have? It's just like up here. We had 8/3, so 8/3. How many eighths did we have? 15. So how many fifths do we have? We have 20 fifths. Because 20 times 1, and then your denominator stays the same. So 10 times 2 is 20, and your denominator stays the same. Okay? So 3 times 5/6, we're going to split this up. So we're going to do 3 times something, and our fraction part size is sixths, so we need to multiply something by 1/6. So I'll write it twice. What can we multiply 1/6 by to get 5/6? And that's going to be 5. It's just going to be our numerator. So if we separate it, we're still going to get the same answer. So 3 times 5 equals 15 times 1/6, and then this is going to go back to our original problem. 3 times 5/6, and then 15 times 1, we have 15/6. 3 times 5 is 15/6. So again, we're getting the same answer. Do one more over here like this. So now we have 9 times something. Our fraction part size is ninths. So what can we multiply 1/9 by to get 4/9? And that will be 4. It's just our numerator. Okay? And then we do our parentheses around the 9 times 4 and the 4 times 1/9. So 9 times 4 is 36 times 1/9. And this is going to be back to our original problem. Okay? So now, how many ninths do we have? We have 36 ninths. We're just multiplying 36 by 1. And here we're multiplying 9 times 4 to get 36 ninths. So now in the back, we're just solving. So we're basically just taking our whole number and multiplying it. So 6 times 3 is 18. Our denominator is 4, so 18/4. 7 times 5 is 35. Our denominator is 8, so 35/8. 13 times 2, 26. Our denominator is thirds. 18 times 2 is, that is 36, and our denominator is 3. 14 times 7, we have to do that one out, so 4 times 7 is 8. There's 28, carry your 2. 7 times 1 plus 2 is 9. So that's going to be 98, and our denominator is tenths. And then 7 times 4, we actually just figured that out, and that's going to be 98 100ths, because our denominator stays the same. So these ones they can just solve. On the back, and the last problem is a word problem. Mrs. Smith bought some orange juice. Each member of her family drank 2/3 of a cup for breakfast. There are 5 people in her family. How many cups of orange juice did they drink? So, 5 people, and they each drank 2/3 of a cup, so we're just going to multiply 5 times 2/3, and we are going to get 5 times 2 is 10. 10/3, so we can break this down into a mixed number. So we have 1 3/3, we have 2 3/3, we have 3 3/3, so that gives us 9/3, and there's 1/3 left, so that's 1, 2, 3. So 3 1/3 cups of OJ. And that is Module 5, Lesson 35 homework.